Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today and another Inspire Create Challenge. And we're on a theme day today, and the theme is birthdays. Now, if you watched my Simple Stamping Saturday on Saturday, you will already have seen this card. I'm kind of not sure which has inspired which, but I'm filming this now because I need to post my blog post for the challenge group. So although I'm filming this first, I think my Simple Stamping Saturday simple idea probably inspired this, but who knows? All I know is that I have made this card, and it is a birthday card because for once I have put an inside in, and I love the card. It's actually going to be sent to a friend of mine who will have received his card by the time this video goes live. Not that I actually expect him to watch my videos, just saying. However, let me show you what I have done and what I have used. So I'm using the A Good Man stamp set. I love, love, love that we finally got a kind of generic male stamp set. So this image, which is the one that I've used, I think can be used for any man in your life, be it father, brother, friend, whatever. So great. And I've used the It's Your Day because, again, why wouldn't it be? But we've got, relax your way. You do a great job of being a great guy. Thanks to you, you're the best. And we then do go into, these are probably to do with fathers, uncles, that sort of thing, people who have small people around. So I grew up loved. A good dad starts with being a good man. For you, generic. So these two, you need to have small people in the man's life. This one, absolutely generic. And finally, if you don't like fishing, you don't like motorbikes, you don't like, sports, we've got a generic male set. Love it. I've also used the Perennial Birthday because for male birthdays, this is an amazingly standard happy birthday font. You could use that as well, particularly if you were doing a short fat card rather than a long thin card. But to put that on an A6 upright card is a bit large. But anyway, Perennial Birthdays carried over. So I'm also using the stitched labels and the, if I could only find it, there it is, the Subtles embossing folder. This is one of the 3D embossing folders. It's just amazing. It just gives exactly what it says, a subtle background. So I'm going to start with the stamping and the embossing, and then we'll do the colouring and put the card together. So the first thing that we need, she says, having put it down and now can't find it, is a piece of Whisper White. That's because I buried it under the stamps, a scrap of Whisper White cardstock. So I've already mounted up my stamp, and I'm going to just ink that up. Now we do need, this is Memento ink because I'm using blends, so it's Memento Tuxedo Black. You do need it well inked. If you're worried about whether you're going to get it dark enough, use your Stamparatus, but I'm fairly happy that if I stamp, it's going to be fine, which it is. The key, frankly, is to keep your stamp on the paper for long enough for the ink to transfer. And I'm just putting the It's Your Day tucked in to the left of the deck chair. So that's the stamping for the outside done. While we've got the black ink out, let's do the stamping for the inside. Don't worry about measurements. All of those will be over on my website, and there's a link to this blog post immediately below. Well, I say immediately below in the description bar. Now do remember, I'm based in the UK. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So if you want any of these products, you are very welcome. In fact, I would be thrilled if you chose to purchase them from me. And there's a link to my blog, to my online store below. So let me grab the nested dies. I'm using the largest of the labels, and I will also be using this. And I need a piece of pear pizzazz for my mat, which is this. So I'm going to feed this through and also die cut. Now for once I am going to bring my Big Shot over because we need to get our sandwiches right. So I thought I would use this opportunity to make sure we got our sandwiches right. So here is my die cutting machine. Any die cutting machine works fine so long as it will take the thin dies. So I've got my magnetic platform, a very loved cutting plate. I probably need to replace it. The stitched labels do rather take it out of your plates, but I love them so much I can't not use them. So I'm just going to line this up so that it's straight. And so we've got my magnetic platform, one acrylic plate, and then the die and card and another acrylic plate on top. Just feed that through. Hopefully we won't need to go back the other way. Nope. So that should pop out, which it has. And then the straight piece, I'm just going to bring, let me see my original card. So I want it just to the left of the It's Your Day. So kind of like that. Now this doesn't cut, it only stitches. But you do want to try and get it straight, which that isn't quite. You could go, and I'm going to because I am that sad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that, if we can keep it there, will be straight. Now you could use a piece of washi tape just to hold it down, but I'm not going to bother. So that, as I said, just gives you the stitching. So we'll pop those to one side. Now, to do your embossing, take out that platform and bring in the standard platform that comes with the machine without the shim. You get your thin die adapter. You don't need that. You just need your basic cutting plate, your one acrylic plate, and your embossing folder. Now if you've got the newer 3D dies, there is now an embossing plate that you can get, which I keep meaning to order and keep forgetting, because our new 3D dies are not quite the same in depth as our original 3D dies, so just bear that in mind. Let me get rid of this. So you either need to get the new embossing plate or do some shims, but that's nicely embossed. If you worry about your card ripping, spritz it with some water first. Okay, so let's get the colouring done. I'm using my my brain's gone. Blends, that's the word. So I've got So Saffron, Old Olive, Ivory, Crumb Cake. I always get the ivory and the crumb cake muddled up. Pool Party, and just the dark Calypso Coral. So let's start by doing the Calypso Coral, and I am going to bring in my original just so that I know where I've decided that the stripes on the deck chair are, because I kind of liked how it looked. So this is simply a question of colouring in. It's incredibly therapeutic. I quite often do colouring while we're, in inverted commas, watching television. I don't do just sitting watching television. It just bores me. So I normally have something that I'm doing, whether it's knitting or colouring or something like that. Most programs you do not need to watch. This is the ivory. Now, it's very rare that I do circular colouring, but for the ivory I do, because it does give you a nice finish. Generally I will do just, you know, back and forth, but for the skin tones I do find that the circular motion gives you the best coverage. So we've been having interesting weather in Oxfordshire. It keeps forecasting rain, which never comes, so we are having to do lots of watering of garden. Just as my flowers are coming in, I'm having to water, and because I like my flowers, I am watering. Okay, so now this again is something I rarely do. I'm going to put the dark down first, and that's because I do actually want the dark to kind of show up. That's all I need that for. And then come in with the light, and again I am doing a bit of a round motion for that, but I want the dark to show because I want the shadows. Otherwise I would put the light down first. So on the subject of which, light pool party, and I'm going to use the brush tip because it's a large area. Just be careful not to go into his shorts, because I do want khaki shorts. So that's his t-shirt. Then the dark pool party to add some shadows. And it's really simple because the shadows are pretty much there. So it's just a question of following the lines. And I am doing a shadow down the side as well because there would be a shadow. Oops, I missed one there. But yes, so the weather's really weird. It's very humid. I did go out on the day before I'm filming this. I went out to do my run, and it was just so humid. I didn't go nearly as far as I wanted to go because I just frankly started feeling not terribly well because it was so hot. Okay, so I'm going to use the bullet end of this purely because it's a small area, and I don't think my brush tip ability is quite good enough. And then again I'm going to come in and give these some shadows, so there'll be a shadow at the bottom and pretty much anywhere where there's a crease, and then come back in and blend those in. And then, where are we time-wise? Ooh, 13 minutes. Okay, so light crumb cake, just scribbled. Dark crumb cake bullet tip, just to give some texture. And then come back in. Right, okay, so the next thing we're going to need is a piece of ribbon. I'm just making sure I get a piece long enough. It should be long enough. And this is the Seaside Spray, which is one of the new in colours, and it's the wonderful linen ribbon. And I'm just going to stick a piece of tear and tape, slightly more in the middle, reasonably straight would be good. Because it's so humid, the tear and tape is exceptionally sticky. Okay, cut that and press it down well, and then just come in and cut down the middle. Reasonably straight, but it doesn't have to be. But you want sticky on both sides. And then peel that off. And I'm going to start from a pointed end. And all I'm adding is that scallop edge. Now here I do find it's easier if you snip it a bit, because then it does tend to want to go around the corner a little easier. This goes back to my days of sewing. It is easier not doing it in mid-air, I would hasten to add. However, there we are. So that's that one. And then I'll actually cut that off. And come in with this one. And again, I'm going to go slightly over the end. That's it. You can tell I'm concentrating because I've stopped talking. And again, snip. Don't go all the way because you don't want this to fall to pieces. Turn the corner. And there we go. And then we can just snip this piece off. And again, I'm going to go into a scallop. Like that. Right, okay, so we're pretty close to finishing. I've cut a long and thin card base. You can do short and fat if you would rather, as in you can do it so that the crease is that way. But as I've said before, for photography, these just seem to work better. Sorry about the pinging, it's the notifications on my phone, which I thought I'd turned off and I haven't. Right, some multi-purpose liquid adhesive. And pop that on my card. Got a wasp flying around. I'm going to have to keep half an eye on that. I'm just a little bit... Oh, I should have cut that first. Never mind, we won't. Right, so normally I would say cut this first. Hey-ho, because then you'll get it straight. So I should have stuck this onto my mat and then cut, but I didn't. So it's fine. It's not straight, but it's fine. Still not straight. What I might actually do is put it right on the edge there. That will work, and then I can trim that off. Probably end up trimming off those dots, but never mind. Okay, so dimensionals, and then we just need to stick the card in the middle, the birthday mat in the middle, and we'll be there. So I'm hoping you are enjoying the new annual catalogue. Do remember we've got the July bonus days. So if you shop in July, hop over to my store. For every £45 you spend in July, you will be sent a voucher for money off in August. So for every £45 you get £4.50 off in August, which is like getting free shipping, which is always a plus. I'm going to try to just sneak that so that we keep the dots. Right, so from the back, this is what I should have done on my mat, but didn't. And that then gives you a straight edge. And we've kept our dots. Yay! Love it! Okay, so the final touch is from the Adhesive Back Basic Sequins. These are actually Sahara Sand. They're a nice matte finish, which is perfect for mail cards, because they, you know, a bit of something but not sparkle sparkle is nice. Got a cat here as well. Hurrah. Okay, so that's those. And then snail on the back here. So yes, bonus days, £45, get £4.50 to spend in August. And of course there's the extra joining offer. There's information about both of those over on my website, and as I said, that's linked below. There's a link to my online store below, and also details of what I have used. So there we go, 2 lovely mail birthday cards. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. There will be more inspiration for birthday cards over on the Inspire Create Challenge website, and there's a link for that on my blog, which, as I say, is below. Do go and have a look at what the other ladies have come up with. I've seen some of them already and they are stunning, so do have a look at those. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!